We continue our countdown before we see the Canadians in action again. Less than 48 hours to go. But what scenes on Canadian soil today, in particular Toronto, Ontario, the Portuguese fan base, they were not messing around today. The final World Cup game to be played in Toronto was between Portugal and Croatia, and this game also did not disappoint. As we get set to talk about it, welcome you on into Bet365 for the win. A beautiful home for the beautiful game. Andy Petrillo, and I'm alongside two champions. I got John Conway, MLS Cup and Canadian champion, and David Edgar, former Canadian international and CPL champ. Christian Jack's going to be joining us, gentlemen. Gareth Wheeler as well. Oliver Platt. We have a full house. Stephen Brunt, Julie Stewart-Banks. There's a lot going on, but we have to talk about the game that ended not that long ago. Portugal-Croatia 2-1 the final. This had everything. It had the stars. It had the talent. It had pace. It had skill. It had goals. It had penalties. It had emotions, as we know, for the Portuguese in particular near the end, honoring Diogo Jota, who, by the way, 1 year ago to the day, sadly passed away. But two legends, Modric, Ronaldo, and John, the game, like I said, it just did not disappoint from an entertainment factor, did it?
Spectacular game for Toronto, for Canada, for fans of both teams. It was an unbelievable performance. I thought Portugal came out. We're on the front foot. We're super aggressive, getting the advantage early on. Croatia found their way back into this game right before half. And then after halftime, they came out and they were on fire and got themselves rewarded with a goal from Perisic and really just hung on from there. But this guy, Ronaldo, unbelievable, steps up at the biggest time. His best touch of the game was the goal that was called back for offsides. The unbelievable play by him. But then the penalty was called. He steps up and strikes it. And the rest is history. And they're able to fight their way back in and get a win. You know, 21, Diego Jota's number, and they win 2-1 tonight. I don't know if that was a sign, but there it is. Portugal, hell of a night for Portuguese fans in Toronto.
Yeah, and David, when it comes to Ronaldo, a little bit of a monkey off the back in that he finally gets a goal in a knockout game. That's obviously a very big deal for him, but also kind of shocked. He even looked mystified when he got subbed out. But it seemed to have been the right call. You got to give Roberto Martinez some credit here and what he was able to do in this game. Ramos, by the way, 2022, he was the guy who started in place of Ronaldo in their knockout game against Switzerland and ended up getting a hat trick. So he's the hero here tonight. The storylines they just seem endless right now.
Yeah, as you say, he's got that monkey off his back, and he's finally on par with Stefan Eustachio in terms of knockout goals now. But yeah, honestly, the game had everything. I think from a neutral's point of view, obviously a little bit neutral. My wife's half Portuguese, but what a game to watch. It was a chess match in the first half, and then, as you said, Croatia withstood. They defended well. But in that second half, it changed, and all credit to after conceding Portugal, they've made that substitution, that quadruple substitution. He had the cojones to go and take Ronaldo off by the end, and he's got his rewards by it, and fair credit to him.
Yeah, I think that was the 63rd minute, right? 4 subs. I went, okay, wait a second. Like, what exactly is Martinez preparing for here? But whatever he did, it absolutely worked. And yes, he was criticized for playing Ronaldo every single minute in the group stage, but he also took that gamble. It paid off as we take a look at the bracket that has now filled itself out in the round of 16 here. So this will be really interesting, the way these two teams, Portugal, Spain, that should also be a good one. And somebody who took this game in live, let's head on over to Toronto Stadium. Gareth Wheeler joining me now. First and foremost, what was the atmosphere like?
Oh, it's as hot as the weather. Let's put it that way. Just fair warning, there's a lot of emotion right now outside of Toronto Stadium. A lot of Croatian fans and support. I mean, they were brilliant all night, right until the end when the goal was called back. The third goal called back on the night for Croatia. And I can explain what happened a little bit. There's a lot of anti-sentiment towards FIFA right now because the automated offside flag or board didn't go up on the screen initially. That's why it surprised people in the stadium that the goal that would have descended to extra time was called back. Then all the bottles and the beers were thrown on the field. So there's a lot of people walking by right now. So we're live right now, so just bear with us. This was an instant classic, easily the biggest, most important game that's ever been played inside this stadium. A round of 32 knockout tie between two European giants simply lived up to its billing. The game had it all, and just hearing you guys discuss it, I mean, you're hitting on a lot of the talking points. Portugal came out on the front foot, but Croatia, their manager Zlatko Dalic is such a good manager. They were so well trained, playing as a team. They were unfazed by anything that Portugal threw their way. In fairness, Portugal was playing too slow, and their midfielders didn't really have an idea on how to break down that back line. And the second half, when it all kicked off, it was thanks to a Croatian goal that really opened things up. Portugal were far too open all night defensively, prone to just not running back, not hustling back, doing the basics on the counterattack, and Croatia took full advantage. That's where the game came to life. The VAR giving Cristiano Ronaldo his time to shine. The crowd all night was fully in support of CR7. He had his quintessential Toronto moment. And after that, it was all the goals that were called back and how it played out. The quadruple change for me was mystifying from Roberto Martinez. Simply put, he went too far. There was half an hour left in the game, and Portugal were only down a goal, and he ended up taking off their best, most dominant midfielder in Vitinha, which in putting Bernardo Silva on in his place, and it simply didn't work. And there was a quick acknowledgement that Martinez probably went too far, and that's why he had to take off Cristiano Ronaldo in that moment. Ronaldo was sacrificed because, from my opinion, it was a managerial mistake, but still he's let off the hook by some late dramatics. Portugal just have so much talent. Rafael Leao finding Gonçalo Ramos the substitute, 90+4, and then the twist and turns right till the end. I have to say, Croatia, hard done by on the night. They're so well trained. Modric and Kovacic turned back the clock. They were spectacular. Portugal get by for me, guys, more so on their individual talent, more so than anything else. And an emotional night all around on the one-year anniversary of Diego Jota's tragic passing, and the team and Ronaldo put on the 21 kit post-match. It was emotional, and the entire team and staff posed together. You could tell what that meant for them, and I've never experienced a game like that inside Toronto Stadium, Andy. We've been here for MLS Cup finals, Canada clinching, going on to qualify for the World Cup, but tonight, indescribable what we experienced here at Toronto Stadium here tonight.
Well, and based on what you said off the top, and yes, we've been to many events together, what people don't know is I am your security detail. I usually keep you safe. So, buddy, you're on your own here tonight. Or you could just show them a picture of my face. That tends to scare people away. But let's get to... I got
this guy over my back. He's a great dude.
Let's talk about Ronaldo in particular, his performance. Of course he had to get the goal. He just had to get a goal, or I feel like even if Portugal won this game and he didn't score, the storyline would be this guy still can't score in a knockout game, right? Like, how do you feel about his performance and how everyone also just reacted to that?
It's funny discussing with people in the stadium and people around me during the game. Sentiment was that Portugal was better after he came off the field. I'm not so sure about that. I think that the team and the way that they're playing is letting Cristiano Ronaldo down for a certain degree. There were so many times in the game he wanted the ball played over the top, but the ball was just being recycled through the midfield. He, alongside Bruno Fernandes, wasn't really working because neither one of them is blessed with great pace at this point. But it's the lack of ideas from the back to the front that is holding Portugal back. Ronaldo's making the proper movements. He's just not getting the service right now. They're really relying on Nuno Mendes. He was the best player on the field, by the way, the left back for Portugal. He was excellent to create anything in attack. When he's isolated like that, you're not going to get the best out of him. But Andy, this conversation is not going to go anywhere. You either love Ronaldo or you love to hate Ronaldo. That's the way that things work. No, he's not Lionel Messi right now, but he can still be an effective player, and he never shies away from the big moment. I still think there's a lot more ahead in this tournament for Ronaldo. He's going to have to remain the focal point in the next game, the round of 16 match against Spain. He's just going to have to be. It's going to be a big spot for him, and I think there's a lot of reason to believe that they will be able to get the most out of him, but just overall the team play needs to be better to involve Cristiano Ronaldo more.
What we noticed after the game, I mean, obviously all the players were staying on the pitch and relishing in the moment, enjoying it. For the Croatian players, there was more devastation, but Luka Modric taking some time and walking around, and a lot, if not all, of the Portuguese players making their way to him and honoring a career, right? That at least at the World Cup stage, has come to an end. What do you just make of Luka Modric and kind of what it means all these years, him donning that crest?
Absolute class, both on and off the field. He was incredible tonight. And he's not the typical midfielder here in 2026 that's all legs and physical and can run. He's just so intelligent. He picks the right spots. His work on the ball is so technically sound. And tonight, him and Kovacic, they turn back the clock. They really don't make players like they used to in terms of Luka Modric. Like in 2026, like he's a rare breed that can make up for some of the things that his body can't do right now by doing so much else that's right. And once Roberto Martinez made that change and took Vitinha off the field, Kovacic and Modric grew into the game and they almost pulled it out. Like 3 goals called back for Croatia on the night. Kovacic went off the post, and Modric, like he's done so many times, he's the conductor. It's just so brilliant. And watching him play here tonight and hearing just the incredible Croatian support in this stadium, Andy, I just think to myself, if you're going to go after a player late in their career, if you're Toronto FC, it's got to be a player like Luka Modric. Like, he'd be worshipped in this city, this massive Croatian community. He certainly has more to give to the game, but this looks like the end from an international perspective.
That would be quite the landing if MLS could do that. But, sometimes you got to be careful, right? Andrea Pirlo, we thought that was going to be a big one. He went, this league's way too physical for me. But I have a feeling Modric could do very well. There's a look at the upcoming CPL matches that you can catch right here on One Soccer, home of the CPL. That's right. Those games are back on the pitch here as we also keep an eye on the World Cup. Lots of footy going around, including a great game earlier today. Portugal defeating Croatia 2-1. Oliver Platt now alongside the security detail has joined you, Gareth Wheeler. Take us through this and also what we can expect for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm here to protect Gareth after unsuccessfully trying to get any Portugal players to talk to me in the mix zone earlier. But just an amazing night, Wheels. I'm sure you've already talked about it plenty, but I felt in that second half in particular, you could feel the gravity of every moment, every decision. It was history playing out, right? Who was going to continue, Cristiano Ronaldo or Luka Modric? It's Ronaldo in the end. He gets his first World Cup knockout goal, which we can say the only one so far has come in Toronto. Just remarkable to see these two teams go toe-to-toe for what felt like 100+ minutes, I think, in the end.
The tension was on the field, but it was in the stadium as well. Throughout the stadium, the crowds, who I'm assuming most people in the stadium, based upon the conversations I had, most of them are local Croatians and local Portuguese. I'm not sure how many people came from overseas, but they were living and dying with every moment on that field. It was just something to watch. And don't lie, Bernardo Silva did say thank you.
He said thank you to the Portuguese fans.
And
there
gave
you go.
You a thumbs up. So you did get something on it.
Let's talk about Portugal and their chances at this competition. I got to say tonight, they got the result. I wasn't hugely impressed. And I think their manager is struggling to get the best out of this group. It's a very it feels like a positional team that's a bit stale, a bit out of date. The kind of team you'd see 10 years ago where everyone sticks to their position, the wingers hug the touchline and aren't given much freedom. There's not much fluidity to it. And I thought for large periods, although Croatia are on the back foot, they were playing some of the better football in this game at times. And I don't know, as much talent and athleticism and all the different things you could say about the Portugal players, I'm not sure this team has what it takes to get through Spain in the next round.
I completely agree with you. There are world-class players across this Portuguese side. Nuno Mendes might be the best left back in the world. Vitinha and João Neves in the midfield, like both phenomenal players. They were on the ball so much, but
going around the horseshoe, aren't they?
They just kept on going to center. There were so many balls that were played back. Even when the ball was played to Cristiano Ronaldo, he wasn't sure whether to turn or not. I don't think him and Bruno Fernandes play well together. I just don't think that there's enough pace there. There's some laziness as well. Neto and Rafael Leao, they don't do the work defensively either. Like on the Croatian goal that was scored, it was just a complete breakdown, a lack of effort. So they have lots of work to do. If they win games, I'll stand by this, Ollie. It needs to be based upon individual talent and individual brilliance, and I'm not sure that's enough to take them where they need to be or they expect to be in this tournament.
Well, credit to Croatia, they're out, but it takes two good teams to make a game like this as memorable as this, I think. And I thought at times they were very, very good. Mateo Kovacic, I don't know where he got it from because he's not had a great season, but he was sensational tonight. Let's finish up here with your tell us player to watch for tomorrow's games, Wheels.
3 games tomorrow. I mean, Argentina's the main attraction, aren't they? But I'm not going to go the cliche route and bring up Lionel Messi or anyone like that. I'm going to bring up their best defender in this tournament, Lisandro Martinez. He may also play for a wonderful club in Manchester United as well. He's played 2 games. They haven't conceded when he's on the field. What's incredible, he's not a big center back. He's only 5'9", but he's won 75% of his aerial duels and 75% of his duels overall. He's a staple at the back. He's great in distribution. When they play Cape Verde tomorrow, I expect him to come away with a clean sheet. It's about how many, not how, for Argentina tomorrow, but Martinez is worthy of a shout just because of what he brings to the table.
Yeah, okay. A few more games to go in the last 32. Portugal moving on to face Spain. I got to say, lastly, it's been quite the experience to see these games here at Toronto Stadium. We've been treated to some fantastic matches, a lot of late goals, but it ends here with one to remember. Portugal against Croatia. Portugal advance. Andy, we'll send it back to you.
It was great. And I love how Will said you got the thumbs up as part of the Portuguese faithful fans, because when I think Portuguese, I think Oliver Platt. Gentlemen, great stuff here tonight. To everyone here, you've been watching Bet365 for the win on One Soccer. On behalf of those 2 gentlemen, as well as John Conway and David Edgar, who were joining me throughout the show. I'm Annie Petrillo. You've been watching us right here on One Soccer. We've got one more day to go. A couple more sleeps, though, before we see Canada back in action. And tomorrow we will have Jesse Marsh's Match Day -1 press conference for you. Have a great night, everybody.